Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Klaar.
Good afternoon.
On November 16, we witnessed another aggression by Azerbaijan on the sovereign territory of Armenia, which was the largest since November 9, 2020. There is an opinion that this became possible because the invasion into Armenia's Geghar, Kunik and Syunik region on May 12 in this year didn't receive adequate international response. How does the EU describe or assess the blatant violation of the November 9 Trilateral Declaration and the Charter of the United Nations?
Well, first of all, I think the EU has responded very clearly in the sense that we have called on the withdrawal, on the separation of forces, and on the start of delimitation talks. And we have also said that the EU is willing to support that. So I believe that the EU did respond very clearly to those developments in the spring. And right now, we have also seen that the President of the European Council has personally been involved. So I would not agree that the EU has not been adequately engaged. The EU has very seriously been engaged.
But look, there are casualties, deaths, POWs and missing persons as a result of the latest Azerbaijani aggression. The topic is more than sensitive for Armenian society. In the given circumstances, instead of condemning the Azerbaijani aggression, different international players make unaddressed announcement calling on both sides to halt the violence. They equate both sides, and these, to say the least, are not accepted unequivocally. What is the reason for hesitating to call the spade a spade? Because there is a sovereign territory of internationally recognized Republic of Armenia.
Well, first of all, the most important thing from our perspective is that there is a cessation of violence and a start of negotiations, of border delimitation negotiations that the EU is willing to support and has offered its support for, and of other talks to find a comprehensive settlement to the conflict. So that is the most important thing. And that is what the EU has been actively engaged on at the very highest level. So from our perspective, what we believe, again, is the most important thing is of course, also the release of the prisoners. We have called for that. We have been very actively engaged on that at the very highest level. But the engagement in negotiations and for a comprehensive settlement, that is the most important thing. And that is what we as EU, what the international community is very actively engaged in.
Mm-hmm. You held a phone conversation with Andrey Rudenko, the Russian Deputy Foreign Minister. What were the main topics of your discussion? Was it an information exchange, or was it aimed at coordinating the EU's and Russia's efforts to help resolve the existing issues in the region?
Well, I meet with Mr. Rudenko quite frequently. And we talk on the phone also frequently. And it's, of course, an information exchange. But I believe that the international community and the European Union and the Russian Federation don't have very different goals here. We want to promote a settlement that brings about a peaceful and ultimately also prosperous South Caucasus, and the EU is doing everything that it can through various channels, including through contacts with with different partners, including the Russian Federation, to help bring this about.
Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, you visited the region for 4 times this year. You visited Armenia and Azerbaijan, held meeting with the authorities from Artsakh. What is the agenda of your activities on the ground, and what is the vision of the EU for the resolution of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict?
Well, again, our position is that there is a need for a comprehensive settlement of the conflict. And it is important to build confidence in the aftermath of the 44-day war. My visits to the region, my meetings with the leaders have been aimed at exactly that, and also at emphasizing the fact that the EU does have various tools at its disposal and is willing to engage at various levels to promote the settlement. So the aim, again, of my most recent visit, as of the previous ones, has been to also convey messages from one side to the other, and to stress that we as European Union have a fundamental interest in promoting a comprehensive settlement in the south, between Armenia and Azerbaijan, and that is what we have done, and that is what we will strive to continue to do. And as I say, at the very highest levels, and I am personally as engaged as I can be in promoting this, and also in supporting various other efforts, and notably, of course, the work also of the Minsk Group co-chairs.
Mm-hmm. There was a meeting of foreign ministers of the EU Eastern Partnership, and the summit of EU is planned for the next month, which on the one hand is a good opportunity to sum up the progress with joint efforts, and on the other hand it's somehow to sketch the outlook of bilateral relations. How would you describe and assess the current level of Armenia-EU relations and the development opportunity?
Well, I believe that is quite a lot that has taken place in EU-Armenia relations over the past year. And we have also, through our investment plan, stressed that we are willing to contribute with significant funds to the development of Armenia. So I would assess that our bilateral relationship has developed in a very positive direction over the past years, and but I certainly don't believe that all the potential of our relationship has been exhausted. I think there's a lot more that can still be done in our bilateral relationship.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. And last but not least, very clearly and very shortly, are you condemning the violence of the sovereign territory of Armenia or no? Besides the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, I talk about the last developments, forgetting about the both sides. Do you think that the sovereign territory of Armenia was violated?
Well, first of all, my position is, and that of the European Union is, that what we need to do and what Armenia and Azerbaijan should engage in is a negotiation on the delimitation of the border, on of separation of forces, and to stabilize the situation, and to reach a negotiated settlement of the exact location of the bilateral border. I believe that is something that has been addressed by both countries' leaderships at various times. I think that is the most important thing to do. Of course, on top of that, you need a comprehensive settlement of the conflict, and that is something, again, that the European Union is and will continue to be actively engaged in to help find.
Are you optimistic that the peace will finally come to this region?
I am optimistic that the peace will finally come to this region. I believe that it has been a very difficult time, and I absolutely recognize the the stress that Armenia and many Armenians have been under in the aftermath of the 44-day war. It is a very stressful and very difficult time, but I do believe that there's a genuine potential to turn the page to over 30 years of conflict.
Thank you very much, Mr. Klaar. Thank you for your comments.